It's about, what, 3:45, I think?
Yeah, 3:45 in the morning.
a.m. We just spent about an hour or more trying to grapple this huge, like 50-foot catamaran that broke its mooring right at the windward end of the anchorage. I mean, like, way
up
and
there.
It was bumping and crashing through all 50 of us anchored out here in the bay. Yeah, they bumped into a few guys, mostly just glancing off their, you know, their bow lines. But I mean, that thing's huge.
It was a really big catamaran.
It's the biggest boat in the marina here by far. It's gigantic.
Yeah, so we were just asleep though, and woke up to people blowing their air horns repeatedly, and so we didn't know what was going on, and so we got up and looked around, and then we could, off in the distance, we could see the catamaran going sideways, like just like slowly drifting away. We're like, oh man.
It was like a ghost in the night. The thing's just gigantic.
Yeah, and so we watched it for a little bit, and people kept blowing their horns and stuff, but like nobody was doing anything, and so we were like, well, let's just get in the dinghy and go over there, see if we can help out in any way. And so we did that, and then by the time we were motoring over there, other people were in their dinghies motoring over there also.
So me and Kenzie and one other guy got on board, but then everything was locked. I mean, padlocks on everything. Couldn't start the engines, couldn't put an anchor down, nothing. So another guy went back to his boat and got a crowbar.
Well, we went back and got our spare anchor first.
Yeah, well, he went back for a crowbar first, but then we went back for our anchor and got there before he got there with the crowbar. So we put our spare anchor out, which was just a joke. I mean, the anchor from our 26-footer trying to stop a 50-foot cat who's moving at 2 knots through the anchor, just a joke. But it skipped along the bottom for a good 100 yards and then
slowed us down.
And then it caught on something. It stuck.
It stuck.
But we were able to. It gave us enough time to get the catamaran's anchor down. We used the crowbar and popped the padlock off. So we got their anchor down, and we're able to release our anchor, and theirs caught. I mean, their anchor was like 80 pounds. It's a big anchor. We tried to retrieve our anchor, but it stuck in the bottom. I'm actually thinking it might have like snagged on something. I don't know. So now we're gonna go to bed for a few hours and then see if we can get our anchor back. It's not a huge deal if we lose it. It's just our backup. It's a piece of crap, like Lumar claw replica that drags every time we use it. It's a piece of crap, but we'd like it back if we can.
Yeah,
because we need a spare. I mean, obviously
we need it for when we anchor in a current.
Yeah.
Even if it does suck, it helps just a tiny bit.
So if we lose it, you know, we're out at $80 first, you know, $35-40 for a crappy anchor and 120 feet of good half-inch anchor line. So no big deal.
Man, they went a long ways. Yeah. Yeah, so this morning we went over to try to get our anchor because it was stuck in the mud. We just left it there the rest of the night, and we were able to get that up. So that's good. When that
Lumar claw grabbed in the mud, man, it was stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took a 15-horse outboard on a dinghy to yank it out of the mud. It was crazy. Yeah, only because it's a muddy bottom. If it'd been sand, it wouldn't have had a chance. But yeah, we'll give them their fender back here.
We then wanted to get the bridle put on the anchor chain. We had the help of the same people that were helping us last night.
So it's a catamaran, so it's got 2 hulls, and where the anchor locker is actually, you know, a good 15 to 20 feet. It was at least 25, I guess, on that boat, back from the bows. So it's way back by the cabin. And so as the boat would sail back and forth on its anchor chain, the anchor chain would rub the left bow underside, and then it would rub under the right bow, and it's just grating the bottom pane, eventually fiberglass off the bottom of it.
So all those lines and that goes to those mooring lines.
Oh,
But I don't want to touch those because that's might be insurance.
right.
You know?
There's something.
So this. Yeah, attached here. We just have to let our chain out.
Okay, right. Yeah, I see
And
what you're saying.
It'll go out, but I couldn't get the chain to go out. No power to the windlass.
So we had to get bridles on it, which we couldn't get
do.
last night, and we couldn't get it this morning either because to get a bridle on it, you got to set the bridles on it and then let the chain out until the bridles take the slack up. And without power, there was no way to let the windlass out or even unlock it because it has full tension on it under lock, and there was no backup handle for it or anything.
Anchor.
There was a clutch, and that was the only lever on it, so there was no way to let the anchor out or bring it in or even unlock it without electricity, which in my mind seems ridiculous, but
yeah.
that's how it was set up. So
We can't get it to crank. There's no power. There's no power, yeah, because it's the switch is inside and the door's locked. So you need to pull that thing out to get the chain to be able to unlock.
yeah, without being able to release the tension on it, there's no way.
And snap it on as far down there as we can.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's the idea.
Yeah, that's the problem. The windlass is done.
You're not going to get that down low enough to do any good of it.
So finally the marina guys got there.
You guys from Harbor deal? You guys over? Bridle on to keep the chain off the hose.
Yeah, they come, they show up, and they're like
Are you-
asking about the mooring ball and stuff. And we're like,
Yeah.
we got drug, and they're like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't believe it. We're like, look under the boat. The ball is under the boat. Like
yeah.
it obviously drug it all the way over there.
Well, it didn't drag the mooring anchor. It actually came loose. All that was on the mooring ball was some chain.
Yeah.
About 15 feet of chain. And the guy was like, did it drag it down? I'm like, no, it's not connected to the anchor. And he's like, that's not possible. I'm like, all right, but that's what's
There.
down there. You can look for yourself.
Yeah.
You can pull the mooring out. The ball, there's nothing under it. It was dragging the ball through the marina.
You guys have keys for the boat?
They didn't even know if they had record of the guy or not.
Yeah.
Luckily they did, and they showed up with keys, and we were able to do the rest.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Is Edward still out there? Yes, sir.
It's even bigger than we thought. That catamaran is 67 feet long. It was just
Big.
ginormous, yeah. We went in the salon at one point looking for fuses, and holy cow, it was like an studio apartment in there. Really nice.
You got a pliers in there? Alright, what I'm gonna do, right? I think we can pull the anchor up, right? Is I'm gonna take the lines off the moorings. I will leave the moorings here.
Right here.
Yeah. I have to leave them.
Will the moorings stay, or will it just float away? Well, he wants to take the mooring ball off of the lines. He needs to leave the mooring ball right here where it's at. So he was pulling on this rope.
But the mooring thing, that's what I just
Does he
told
not
him.
understand? I said, won't it float away? And he said, no.
I don't think it's attached to anything.
Well, it's not attached.
I don't think so.
It's got a bit of chain on it, that's it.
The only thing that's securing the boat is the anchor. Not the black lines aren't being used.
Okay. Okay, we got it.
Okay, now wait till he's ready.
We'll wait till it gets centered.
You drive past it. Break it free. You're free. You're free. I think the wheel's trying to bring it all the way up, see if it spins on its own. Once it breaks the puller, it should spin on its own. That's it. Woo!
Yeah, we got it. Got that beast back at another mooring ball. Cross our fingers, hope it stays there. The marina guys showed up with a power boat and we were able to bring the keys so we get the anchor back up and got it up to a new mooring ball. It took a while, probably a couple hours of fiddling around to get it there, but we we got it done, the 6 of us, so it was a pretty good day, I guess. That thing was so big though, just ginormous.
Yeah.
That was wild. I've never been on anything like that before.
Yep, my first time riding on a catamaran.
Yeah, mine too, actually. The first time using an anchor windlass. That
Yeah.
was pretty slick, actually.
Yeah, as long as you have power.
As long as you had power, yeah, that's true. Oh gosh.
That's the buoy?
I might be able to loop it if he drives over. I might be able to loop it like this. So if you come to this side,
Here he comes. The boat drifted
Good
pretty
quarter mile.
far.
Yeah, at least maybe a third of a mile. It was
Yeah,
a
'cause
ways
it
out
was-
there.
The buoy that it was anchored to was up here by us, just a couple feet away from us.
Yeah.
And when it broke loose, it crashed into the boat right behind it, another catamaran. We talked to the guy earlier this morning, and he said that it actually cracked the hull of his boat, and so he has to get that fixed now.
Yeah,
He said it was above water line though, so that's good.
yeah. And it bumped into one other boat and bent their bow roller, but nothing too serious.
Yeah, and luckily, there were people up and about willing to go and try to save the boat and all the other boats anchored
Yeah.
and steer it away from the other boats. And then
Yeah.
we were able to get our anchor on there and
Which miraculously held. It only
know.
worked because there's a really muddy bottom here with like incredible suction holding. If it had been in sand, it wouldn't have done a thing. And it actually skipped along the bottom for a good 100 yards before it grabbed. And then when that when that Lumar claw grabbed in the mud, man, it was stuck. Yeah, it took a 15 horse outboard on a dinghy to yank it out of the mud. It was crazy.
Yeah, but that boat, it really drifted like the entire bay. It was practically out through the channel.
Yeah.
You know, and it was
right at the
dark.
mouth of the
It was
channel.
dark last night, so we didn't really realize how far out we were. But this morning when we went over there, we were practically out
Yeah.
into the channel. And if we hadn't have helped get it anchored, it could have just drifted out to sea and been lost.
Crazy.
It would have went adrift, or what's it called?
Adrift, yeah.
Adrift on land.
Oh, aground.
Aground.
Yeah.
It would have went aground.
It might have. It actually was basically had a trajectory headed straight for the point. It could have gone either way with a little bit of tide or wind, and
Yeah.
because it was definitely on the right side of the channel, heading out the far right, and it looked like it might have just headed right out to sea actually, or hit one of the reefs or islands outside the bay.
Yeah. Now we are gonna go try to find some internet.
After lunch. I need food.
It
first.
is lunchtime now.
It's way past that.
But we're gonna try getting internet today,
Yeah.
and hopefully, I guess we can't do anything else till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Monday. And tomorrow's Randall's birthday.
It is. I'll be 27. Kidding. I'll be 35, 36. I'm 36 tomorrow. 36.
Yep, we're gonna have to do something special. We can go out to dinner.
More chicken?
We can go out to dinner for your birthday.
Kidding.
We'll get you chocolate cake that you've been craving this
Oh,
entire
I have
trip.
been craving chocolate cake forever.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. Dinner time above the turtle. Or aboard of the turtle. Again. We got peanut sauce again. It's one of our favorites. Peanut sauce on rice with some fresh carrots we got at the market. And some bacon. And it's looking good.
Yes, it is.
How is it, Kenzie?
Good.
How are the carrots?
They're soft.
Soft. That's a nice word.
Uh-huh.
How's the internet working for you there?
It's so slow. I have been doing this for about 2 hours now,
That's a long time.
and I have not gotten anything to work.
It
Yet.
sucks.
It's very slow.
Man. And you're using like the public Wi-Fi?
I guess it's the Bahama Y Max.
Nice. Yeah, we might
really
have.
slow here.
Well, yeah, it's really slow. Like, not even functional. It's so slow. Like, you can load one page in like 30 minutes, but you can't like load a page that refreshes. You know, like you can't scroll
you can't
down.
do anything once that page is open. It takes another 30 minutes for it to do whatever you want next.
Yeah, so we've been trying even to just check like a bank account takes a half an hour, let alone make a transfer or anything. That's just to look at a page.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have to go find a restaurant tomorrow, something
For
with some
your
Wi-Fi.
birthday,
For my birthday.
we're gonna go out to dinner for Randall's birthday.
More chicken?
Sure. We're gonna get chocolate cake
Yeah.
and maybe ice cream.
I love the sound of that.
Because it's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for your birthday.
Good, me too.
For him, I'm at the helm. I'm like, this is so surreal. So I came outside. I'm yelling to my friend on the bow of the boat. I'm like, hey, it's me! I can't just steer this thing away from your boat. And then I thought about it. I'm like, she must think she's dreaming. Or something. I'm on this boat coming out. I'm yelling at him like, hey, it's okay. I got it.
Yeah, we were looking and we saw it hit that first one, you know, and then it just seemed to weave. And I was like, man, it's not, you know, I didn't know you were on it by then.
Well, I got on. Yeah. At points, it would lose steerage. And then once it would catch the wind, it would start to come around and could steer it again.
That's when we went to get the anchor.
That's what we,
Yeah, because we got there at the same time you did. I tied up your boat.
Yeah.
How did you know it was
Well,
going through?
what happened was I tried to get on it earlier.
Oh.
But it got trapped on someone's
Anchor
anchor
line?
line. And I was between the two boats. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. That thing snaps up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I swung around and let it be and knocked on a couple boats to try to wake up people. But they didn't have lights. Yeah.
Right.
So then I came back and that's when I saw you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody was awake till that guy started blowing his horn.
Yeah, he started blowing his horn and I jumped out.
A boat was dragging onto us, and the guys were out there blowing their horns in the middle of the night. Oh my god, somebody's dragging.
My wife was having
Hope it's not
blast
us.
with the horn. She's like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah." Okay, you're killing me.